Hello and welcome to episode 78 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
And also seen on this episode will be Jacob Hamill.
Yes.
We apologize in advance. This is going to be a bit of a weird, potentially weird episode, or potentially next week is a weird episode. I don't know. We're doing a lot of recording stuff out of order because Jacob had to leave. But we're going to go through a lot of news of this week, but then we're also going to have potentially part of this episode, potentially next week, an episode where we look at all the games of 2019 that are announced right now and just talk about our excitement level, whether we'll buy them, and just get a hype check on next year because Jeff, 2018 is almost over.
Yeah. About a week.
Which
Jeff.
is strange. But,
Yep.
man, 2018 has been a year for games, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy after last year, which is also weird that we had this podcast through almost all of last year too. But this year might be better than 2017.
Yeah.
In weird ways, with God of War and Celeste and Red Dead and Hollow Knight and freaking
Astrobot Man.
Astrobot, Dragon Quest,
Spoderman. Yeah.
Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
Octopath. Just never stops.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. So it's been a very good year. Yeah. Do you have any other just post-mortem on 2018 since it's almost over? If not, we can get into the news. But
Yeah, we'll get into it when we do our 2018 episode.
okay, yeah. And by the way, we do our Game of the Year stuff for 2018, just in case it's not in this episode. We do that in January so that we can let the entire year of 2018 go through. And then we'll do our look back at it. So we'll do our top 10 games, and we come up with a bunch of other categories for goofy things like best. I don't know. Who is best boy?
Yeah.
It's Atreus probably. Atreus is probably best boy, right? Like boy, actual boy. Yeah.
Best boy award.
We will do that. Yeah, it's just one Atreus. We will do that in January. So look forward to that. All right. Well, Jeff, we actually have some time. I think we're going to be splitting this into one podcast. So have you played anything this week?
Not really. I mean, anything new.
Just some more Dragon Quest.
Yeah, some Dragon Quest. Played some Monster Hunter last night.
Which that was a lot of fun. I'm really wanting to get back into Monster Hunter World now.
Yeah.
Especially to get ready for that Geralt.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got distracted by TV stuff like Titans.
Yeah. Interesting.
Some animes.
Yeah. Well, I don't have too much more. I mean, you'll hear Jeff talk about Dragon Quest when he finishes it for sure. We'll go back through that, and especially with
Jacob has started playing it. So,
I am for real this time at the end of Divinity Original Sin 2. I've looked it up, and I'm actually at the final battle. I thought that I was at the end of it 10 hours ago. But I'm actually there, and it's kicking my ass. But
nice.
I will get it eventually, and that's a great game. And when I do get it, I want to have one last rant just about how good that game is. It is quite good. All right, Jeff. Well, if you don't have anything, I guess we'll get into the news.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Okay, so this is kind of old news. We're kind of getting onto this late, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're talking about the Street Fighter ads whole thing. I'm not going to read a whole bunch of crap about it, but the too long didn't read version is Capcom added optional ads to Street Fighter 5. We can have ads on the actual fighters and stages, and you can earn in-game currency.
Yeah, there was three different the ads were in three different places. One was loading screens, which is not the worst thing, but then there was in the background of stages, which is a little weird. But then the most egregious one was there's stickers slapped on Ryu's forehead.
Yeah,
and it's bad Photoshop stickers all over the characters.
I think Guile's tattoo was replaced with an ad. An American flag tattoo on his shoulder was replaced with an ad.
It's so strange. So, Jeff, have we gone too far with just advertising meeting video games and everything, or is this okay?
It's at the very least it looks stupid.
It looks pretty damn stupid. And I think it is important to note you can opt out of this.
Yeah.
Though you get more fighter currency, fight money.
FM.
FM if you leave them on.
Although from what I've seen, like you get like 8 or 12 or something per match or something. And it costs like 20,000 to get a costume or a character or something.
I think someone said it was like a stage was like 70,000 or something.
Yeah, so it's not much at all.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like, you know, it's not like, I think for most people, honestly, in Street Fighter V, I think it's easy enough to opt out of it or whatever and just be like, well, that was weird, and go on. What I worry about is just going forward. I worry about, now that one game's done this, if it works well, is that going to start being more of a thing? Are video games going to become almost like listening to the radio, where you're just being bombarded with ads all the time while you're playing Devil May Cry 5? Like,
no, I had a funny thought just because it's Capcom. Yeah, we're saying with Capcom all the games we just named. Resident Evil 2, you do a headshot, and then in the background, this headshot is brought to you by
the Coke logo just like explodes from their face. A bunch of Cokes.
No, we're just kidding. I would hope it would never go that far, no matter how this goes.
No, and I really don't think it will. And this is kind of just something funny to talk about, just kind of how dumb it looked. But I mean, these companies we've seen with microtransactions and loot boxes, they're trying to find ways to get additional revenue outside of just the initial purchase, and they're trying to do it in a way that they're trying a bunch of different avenues. Like, we're in this weird experimental phase of this, and just me personally, this is one experiment that I don't want to see replicated. I really just don't want to have to deal with ads in games that, like, and people will always bring up like Madden and NBA and stuff. They have ads in the background, but I feel like those, it works because in a real NFL stadium there would be ads in the background, and they're not like, you know what I mean. But I just don't want to.
Adds to the realism.
And it's easy. I've seen people who don't play Street Fighter be like, oh, what's the big deal or whatever. And then someone's like, well, what if they put it in like Smash? And they're like, no. And it's like, okay, well, this is the same thing. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's just like kind of, I don't know. I don't want this to become a trend. I don't think it will, but.
Yeah, this is a lot of backlash, and I can't see it work. I mean, most people are probably going to opt out of it. I mean, especially since the amount of fight money they're giving people is so
negligible.
Small.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Most people who really care about getting a lot of fight money probably like, well, it's so small anyway, so whatever.
It's not worth the weirdness of it. It's just such a strange idea to implement.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I think just Nerds at Large stances. It's not great. It's kind of funny. It's just a funny thing that they tried to do. I don't know, but it's a little grummy. It's a little like it's a little strange.
It looks stupid.
It does look pretty dumb.
Okay, next story. Spider-Man, big game.
Very big.
Sorry, Marvel Spider-Man.
Marvel's Spider-Man.
Very important.
Jeff. Yeah, anytime you say Spider-Man from now on, I'm going to act like I don't know what game you're talking about. Oh, what's that, Jeff? Is that some new game?
You're going to forget about it the first time I mentioned it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm probably going to forget about it in like a minute.
Yeah. But anyway, Marvel Spider-Man has had a DLC and new costumes in it. But after the third DLC costumes were announced, people noticed like a costume was missing, Darby. What costume could it be?
The worst version of Spider-Man.
Yeah. The Raimi movie trilogy Spoilerman, and then people were very, very, very upset about it.
I think a very, very vocal minority of people were very, very upset about it, but to the point where they were harassing Insomniac, and Insomniac like responded to it. Like, they obviously saw it and were affected by it. They responded kind of emotionally to it. Yeah, it was like people made a fool of themselves.
Indeed. And then not long after, like a week later, Insomniac announced a free costume that was being added to the game. And guess what it was, Darby? The Raimi Spider-Man.
It was.
And naturally, some people thought that, they buckled and listened to these people. Right. And some of them said that as a negative, and some seems like it's a positive, kind of a positive, we did it thing. They listened. Yeah, they felt validated. No, this thing has been they've been working on this costume for months.
Yeah, that's
you don't even needed they said so pretty much later after some people brought it up. Yeah. You didn't even need to hear them say it's like, no, that's not how game design works. It's especially with a licensing like Spider-Man, they got to go through Marvel in general, Disney, Sony execs, like the movie part of it too. Probably like maybe Sam Raimi himself, maybe the person who designed the costume, who knows where that person is.
Yeah, and even if you get all those things, you have to deal with like this game is kind of tied to the modern Marvel. Just I don't know. I mean, they're not like in the same universe, but it's tied to like modern day Marvel. They have no reason to be promoting these old movies that were tied to Sony. They have zero reason, they have to do that. So it was a tough thing from the start, and like I feel really bad for Insomniac because I mean they knew when they were dropping this that was going to be the narrative that a lot of people took. Is they're like, oh, we won, it worked, we made this happen, when they're sitting in the background like, no, you didn't. We've had this like. I imagined that they had this costume made for months, and that it was originally supposed to be in that whatever pack of costumes that Into the Spider-Verse and some other ones were in. Like there was some pack that they were all released in. I imagined that like they were hoping for it to be in there, but rights and they were still like negotiating with people, and they're like, all right, well we have to drop this pack, and it's just not going to be there. Maybe we can get it in there later. And then all this happened, and it appears to me, and especially with Insomniac responding to some people saying that, just because you're asking for this doesn't mean we can do it. I have a feeling like this probably was only very recently given the go-ahead to go, to go through.
I think it was James Stevenson from Insomniac said, I don't know his exact position, but he's the one who's usually talking to people on Twitter and like et cetera and stuff. I think he said that they've been working on this since before the game even came out. This costume.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
At least, yeah. So,
I mean, with all the other costumes they made from different things, this is probably something they were just working on and just hoping they could, get around to implementing and everything. And just, I mean, regardless, I think me and you both stand and just like a damn costume in a video game is no reason to harass someone online and send them death threats like this and everything. Yeah. And not that I'm sure there was lots of people who just wanted the costume who were respectful about it. It's okay to want the costume and to ask for the costume. It's not okay to act in the way that some people did.
There's one guy in particular I can't remember. I think he's some kind of like alt-right YouTuber or whatever. He was one of the ones that was harassing Insomniac. And then I saw his Twitter thing for afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, this is all I ever wanted. I'm crying, blah, blah, blah. No apologizing to Insomniac. Like, kind of like, they did it, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing, like, this kind of people, yeah.
It's frustrating. It's irritating. But good on Insomniac. I mean, Insomniac continues to... to for free give content to this game that was already so good.
And we can potentially infer/assume maybe this was originally supposed to be in a costume pack, one of the DLC things, or maybe it was always there. That was just a costume that they saw. This was the costume most people wanted, the one people were asking for the most. Maybe they were always getting it for free, but just in general, good on them for giving the number one fan favorite, the one people wanted the most, just. Handed out for free.
Could have made a lot of money on this.
Yeah, they could have. They could have just attached it to one of the DLC packs, and people would have bought it from there. I mean, part of me is just reading this stuff because it's kind of surprised people care that much about this costume in particular for a reason. Because me and Darby are the opinion that the Sam Raimi movies do not hold up at all.
Yeah, I mean, independent of this, I understand people like them, and I understand wanting the costume. That's fine. I'm
just surprised in general. I've seen a fair amount of people are like, "Oh, I'm buying the game now."
Yeah, I guess just on a personal level, that like it's really strange to me how very dedicated some people are to those movies. I mean, I've seen people just trashing Homecoming and Into the Spider-Verse too, just because I can't get in the mindset that's one of these everyone can have hot takes in superhero movies whatever. I can't get into the mindset that the Raimi movies are even comparable to Homecoming and Spider-Verse. It's just not even in the same stratosphere. The Spider-Man movies exist in a point in time when they were we didn't know what we were doing with superhero movies. We needed those to happen to get to where we are now. But
probably hot take, people. Homecoming and Spider-Verse are the two best Spider-Man movies. Get over it.
They might be the 2 best superhero movies. I mean, like, at least the top 3 superhero movies.
Yeah. So.
So go watch Into the Spider-Verse is basically the moral of the story, and go
Yeah.
play Spider-Man. And
Yes.
hey, don't be a dick online.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 things that I would like take from
Yeah,
this.
I guess we can, in the Spider-Man discussion with this, do we think this is the end of the Spider-Man content for this game?
I do. I think the 3 DLCs, like the whole City Never Sleeps thing, is over now, and I think that's the big thing they were pushing. I suspect that you just go silent.
Go directly into Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man 2.
I mean, do you agree? I
agree. Go kind of like God of War kind of said without the DLC. It seems like they're done. Just this calendar year, they're done. Same thing with Horizon last year.
Yeah,
You're talking about Sony exclusive stuff. Just go on, make the sequel.
And the fact that we'll have Spider-Man 2 coming, God of War 2 or whatever it's called, and Horizon 2 all in development is pretty exciting. But what have people said about episode 3 of The City Never Sleeps? Kind of people weren't completely hot on 2 on episode.
I think
2.
I've heard kind of mixed things. I haven't seen that many opinions. Seen some people say like it kind of went with for whimper or whatever. Some saying it was a good finale or kind of picked up from 2 and all that kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
Not sure exactly what happens in there.
Yeah, Spider-Man is definitely one of those that I kind of feel like I got my Spider-Man experience with the 1. I can just wait for 2. Yeah.
We'll wait for 2. The hype is real.
The hype is indeed real.
PS5 launch title, not really. Probably first year or 2, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early, at least, isn't it?
Yeah. Man, that'll be stacked if they can get the Horizon, God of War, and Spider-Man all kind of close to launch and then whatever. Especially
if Last of Us is dual.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably definitely just let those developers take their time so they can spread those out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to. You
Put
have
all those
enough.
clips together.
You have enough, and this one, especially you give Corey and that team however long they need.
It's one of those things I imagine, unless something happens, they'll for all these games we're talking about, Spider-Man, Horizon, God of War, shouldn't take as much time because they got the foundation at least.
Yeah, I would think so. Especially God of War had to kind of reinvent the whole thing, and that's And I mean, Horizon's exciting because Horizon 2 has been in development for a little bit now. They probably
probably started. I imagine what part of where it was they kind of whilst people were doing the Frozen Wilds, people were there in the planning stages at least for Horizon. So they probably at least started developing it like a whole year.
Yeah,
you'd assume.
Exciting stuff, Joe.
Indeed. Okay, moving on to the next story. This comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. Let's continue on the controversial train, Darby.
Jeez, I know. This is we're on the...
I think afterwards it's mainly happy stuff. Skybound Games has announced it is partnering with Epic Games to release future episodes of Telltale's The Walking Dead: The Final Season on the Epic Games Store. Though the season will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store for all future purchases, fans who already bought the season on PC through a different platform will still be able to receive the final 2 episodes through their original point of purchase. The final episodes will also become available through the PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch's online marketplaces as originally intended. Quote, the team at Epic owns a major chapter in the history of the game industry, said Skybound Games CEO Ian Howe and Dan Murray in a joint statement. We're excited to work together on this latest transformative event with the launch of Epic Games Store. Epic stepped up to the plate immediately to work with us in order to bring the original team back together and ensure fans will receive the completed season of Telltale's The Walking Dead: The Final Season. End quote. Third penultimate episode of the final season, Broken Toys, will be released on January 15, 2019. The fourth and final episode, Take Us Back, will be released at some point later in 2019. The first 2 episodes had previously been pulled from online storefronts at Telltale's Wickrust.
Very interesting. Very big thing. I feel like Epic's been doing this right in the way that they announced it. Game Awards happen, all these exclusives, and I feel like there has at least been one big story a week about some game dropping everything to go to the Epic Game Store. I feel like we have not stopped talking. We haven't been able to stop talking about Epic Game Store because there's always something new to say.
No, when I said controversial at the beginning of the story, people aren't liking this, Darby. People aren't liking that Epic seems to be taking games that what you would normally think would be on Steam, some games that were already announced for Steam, and making them exclusive.
Right.
Doing the whole money hatting thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. First off, I would probably blame, like, if you're gonna blame someone for it or whatever, be mad. I would be more mad at the developer. I mean, they're the one that makes the call of what store they're gonna be on. Epic's just offering them a bit better deal. It's just competition.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand wanting to like stay. Like, a lot of people want to have their like just one digital storefront, which is the most convenient thing and everything. But like, when it comes to this conversation, I value, developers being able to make their money in a very turbulent system over my convenience. But I know a lot of people wouldn't.
Yeah. But I'll play devil's advocate right now, Darby.
Yeah.
Just reading some people like Recetera, the thread for this was overly negative. Almost completely negative on this news.
I didn't even know that. I just heard the news. I haven't really seen.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate with there. I'm kind of more on your side, but I'm just kind of. This is some people believe this is actually anti-competition. That you're taking things off. You're not giving people a choice. Like you're making them have to go to your store to play these games. That's the general gist of the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know, but I wouldn't know if that is Epic doing that, or maybe it is. Maybe Epic's like, if you want to come here, you need or they're paying money to get some exclusive deal there.
Now let's go on the side of this isn't a big deal type thing, or this is not necessarily Epic money having in it necessarily. Like saying like, based on the quote here, I might be reading too much into it. It sounded like Epic is part of the reason this is happening.
It's happening.
It's one of those things. It's not a Rise of the Tomb Raider situation, which I understand people had a problem with.
Right.
This seems like more of closer to a Bayonetta 3 situation or Bayonetta 2/3 situation with Nintendo, where potentially this wouldn't have happened if Epic didn't step up.
Right. Yeah. And also, I don't want to like come across as like I don't know what my stance is, and I'm kind of just like taking all this and going, and I don't want to seem like I'm just trying to defend everything I say with something, but also to me it feels like it's almost like, I mean, we usually a lot of times don't have a problem with like exclusivity in the console space. It happens all the time, and it's a lot of these games like they're funded by Sony or Microsoft or whatever. And so they're going to be exclusive to that platform, and that's just a thing that we accept, and it's fine. That almost seems like more like something you should be mad about. I don't think you should be mad about it, but like in the PC space, it doesn't cost you any more money to be on the Epic Store or the Steam Store. Yeah. On the console space, it costs you money. You have to buy an Xbox to play this Xbox exclusive game, or a PlayStation to play this or whatever. PC, if you have a PC, I mean, yeah, it's annoying to have to change storefronts, I guess, but it's not like you have to go buy the Epic Game Store or go buy Steam. It's just the thing.
I agree with you. Some people's argument as far as that goes is right now Epic is the store's kind of bare bones. It doesn't have as many of the features of Steam, blah, blah, blah. Which, fair, but again, it costs you nothing.
Yeah, and I think just from a business standpoint, this is the only way the Epic Game Store takes off, is by having exclusive content, exclusive games there. And like, yeah, maybe that's frustrating for a consumer, and I think it's fine to be unhappy about it. I guess I just I know what they're trying to do, and if they don't do these moves, it's not happening. It's like, this is not going to take off. And if it was just another storefront that was no different, I'd be like, yeah, what are you doing here? But they're giving them the 80-12 split. Like, they're getting a lot more, or something. Or 88, whatever.
Yeah,
a lot
88-12
more
split.
88-12 split. A lot more money to developers than Steam is. So, me personally, I'm okay with the inconvenience and the kind of like them business maneuvering like that, because the end result is a better marketplace and more money for the developers.
Their strategy, you assume, is for people that aren't like, kind of like what you were just saying. I'm kind of on the same boat. Like, if I had to choose same price, all that kind of stuff, I'd probably go with the Epic thing, just to make sure developers get a bigger cut. But for people who, to be honest, don't give a crap about that. You got to have those exclusive games that get people on that store.
Yeah, you do. And yeah, a lot of people don't care about it. And I'm not trying to guilt people. You can do what you want. Like, I understand. And there's so many things in my life that, like, I could be supporting local mom and pop grocery stores, but I go to Publix and I go to buy. I mean, like, these things happen.
We could go to more local like restaurants. We eat probably more faster than we should.
Yep.
We might do that after we get done recording. Who knows?
Exactly. That's what I would feel like a hypocrite to completely say I'm not judging anyone for their practices there. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not that bothered by this, and like this excites me to see competition for Steam just because people have had complaints with Steam. And
Indeed.
I think things like this is what's going to make this more of a competitive market.
Mm-hmm.
And, and especially if Epic is making this happen, which the more I hear about the Telltale thing, it's very, with Skybound, right? Skybound Games, helping them complete this season. It's sad what happened to Telltale, but I'm very happy that they're able to do this.
Yeah, it seems like at least a fair amount of the original team, at least. Yeah. At least the team that's working on it is composed of original team members. Are good.
Yeah. Very interesting, though. I don't think there's a clear answer to it, and it's gonna be interesting. But I just think that someone needed to kind of light a fire under Steam, and I think this is enough to where it's gonna start happening.
We will see. Okay, next story. This comes from Jeff and Darby from IGN. Media Molecule has confirmed the Dreams beta for PS4 is finally launching, though the general public won't have access to it this year. After teasing the announcement, the Dreams Creator beta will launch on Wednesday, or has launched on Wednesday, December 19th. Media Molecule announced in a live stream. The beta, which will not support the full game's PSVR functionality, runs through January 21st. So that's a month-long beta.
Yeah.
And anyone who has been following Media Molecule's newsletter should receive an invitation to it. The general public will not be able to sign up for the beta until after the new year, and invitations for the public will begin to go out on the week of January 8th. The beta does come with a few caveats. Those jumping into the creator beta will be asked to sign a confidentiality agreement, with Media Molecule noting this is the first time they're really giving access to the game's tools to the public as a reason for that. Additionally, the beta will be available in these regions: the US, Canada, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Australia. Users must be 18 years old and older for the beta, but they do not need a PlayStation Plus subscription to sign into it. Only connection to the PSN is required.
I wish this was public, because I really do want to get my hands on this game after hearing about it for so long.
I mean, it is going to be public for the last 2 weeks, week and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with the way they're doing it as far as rolling it out. It gives them time to I guess test the servers or whatever, make sure everything's fine when it goes out into the public hands, and the people right now are, the dedicated ones who are kind of, you would think, be following the whole thing and maybe understand.
They should do what they need to do, and I would hate it if they came out with a beta and it just had a few problems, but people overreacted to it.
Yeah,
and,
I watched the live stream when they announced it. That the way they did it was they were like, okay, let's get. Well, first it was funny because they had a guy just kind of eating cake. But there was no sound, and then you could tell they're like, "Hey, guys, there's no sound." Like, oh, okay, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, we'll come back live. So it shut down, and then came back up, and he was eating another piece of cake. Oh, hello there. But then they started doing some of the tools, like, "Hey, what's in down there? What?" Then it was a thing announcing beta tomorrow.
Nice.
So I like the way they did that. I just like Media Molecule. They had a stream. They just had people sitting on the couch, and they turned the camera there, and the rest of the Media Molecule team, which is there watching.
That's adorable.
I'm sure they're excited / nervous fact, hey, people are finally playing this game.
I mean, I'm sure them more than anyone are discouraged by how long it's taken and the different delays. You might be annoyed by it. I'm sure they're infinitely more annoyed by it, and they want people to be able to play their game. Until
I kind of read it again here, or we were talking about it earlier, I think may have come up. I was kind of worried, I'm not hearing much about this beta. Then I was like, oh wait, the confidentiality agreement. So
yeah,
if I'm hearing about it from someone, they're breaking the NDA.
Do we know when that lifts or when we might hear from people? Cause I am very interested in this game. I want to hear people's takes.
Yeah. I'm honestly not sure. It might be after the beta ends, or it could be when the
public.
I guess we don't know because we don't have the NDA to read. But it might be when the public goes to it, because by the sounds of it, it might just be the people with the newsletter that are getting the NDA. No. After the public goes, whatever can happen.
Yeah, obviously. So. I don't know. Dreams is definitely one of the games that I'm the most intrigued by and the most interested to see where the narrative goes with Dreams. And I think we talk about in our 2019 games discussion, I feel like this game could be amazing and do everything right, and I think it is going to have like a very dedicated community that makes incredible things with it and just like goes in so many different directions. I also would be very surprised if it's that successful.
Yeah.
I just hope that, the expectations are in check and that, this game will be what it is. But I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. I'm just so excited to see what people create with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I can already see just like, I'm going to be subscribed to Dreams Reddit day one for sure. Cause I want to see everyone be like, look, I made this first person shooter. Like what? It's crazy.
Yeah. And you can hopefully expect at least some impressions of Dreams in general once the public beta thing goes live. Hopefully it's really easy to get in.
And the other thing is, I have to imagine this means that we're getting close to
this has to mean because we talked about in our 2019 thing. I don't think it's confirmed for 2019, but this has to mean they're at least planning on a 2019 release if they got the beta.
They've kind of taken the tact of after so many delays, they're just like, we're not going to say anything until it's ready.
I feel like Sony's been trying to do that just in general.
Yeah, I mean,
Days Gone is an exception, but that was more of, it's on this day where everything else is coming out.
Yeah. And they need to talk about Days Gone because Days Gone needs some marketing boosts. Yeah.
Oh, you really help.
Okay. And also, I mean, just for I can also see the universe where like Dreams, I like open up Facebook or something else and I see like New York Times articles about like, look at this crazy game, look at what it's doing. I could see Dreams being something that like goes outside of gaming just because of how different it is and the different things you can do with it. And there's going to be so many like, look at what this person made. This person recreated Mario 64 in Dreams. Like, there's going to be those things, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it'd also be really cool or it'll be really fun. Hopefully this stuff runs well. I don't know if it's a good sign or not that this doesn't have the PSVR stuff, but it'd be cool once we get that, and we'll be able to use the Move controllers to do a bunch of crazy stuff. So, that'd be really fun.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about that there Jump Force.
Let's do it.
Jump Fiesta, or Jump... I keep on wanting to say Fiesta. Yeah, it's not Fiesta. Jump Festa. Happen or is happening or something. I don't know.
I like Jump Fiesta better.
Yeah. So naturally, Jump Force stuff happened. A bunch of other Shonen Jump ass stuff happened. Also, for people who don't know or pay attention, the Naruto author Masashi Kishimoto, I'm sure the last, I can't remember the first name. New manga is starting next year. Or he's at least the writer.
It's like brand new.
Yeah.
Cool.
So some art looks cool.
Has he done anything since while he was doing Naruto?
Well, obviously he wasn't doing anything during Naruto. Since afterwards, he kind of helped with some Boruto stuff, but with the general direction, he pretty much said it was kind of a funny thing. He's only doing the story and not the art. He said like in an interview I know at some point, like right after Naruto, and it's like, I'm gonna take a break. I don't feel like doing art after doing like. Drawing weekly for Naruto for 15 years, like I don't feel like doing this for any time soon. Yeah,
can you imagine on a creative project for that long and you haven't done anything else? Like that is your thing, week in, week in, and week out.
Imagine the One Piece guy who's been doing this for 20 years weekly. I mean, he takes some weeks off at this point, which, hey, do what you need to do. But doing that for 20 years and saying like he's got another 10 left in him for the story or something, like dear Lord.
Like he has to have other ideas in his head that he wants to pursue and just can't. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing though. One Piece he could have ended One Piece. This is him wanting to do it,
which is good.
I know. I'm sure. Toei and the Shonen Jump owners, I have trouble pronouncing the names. I'm not even gonna try.
They're not gonna tell him to stop.
They're not. Yeah, the way One Piece is like the biggest thing in like manga ever. They're not gonna tell him to stop anytime.
At least it sounds like One Piece hasn't had like the Bleach stuff where it's like we're just making this up as we go. He has this power. This.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
and even Naruto didn't it have some like and then suddenly there's this other bad guy. Like,
it had that in the end, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But anyway, because I'm talking about Jump Force or whatever, I was kind of teased. Apparently, there was going to be like 12 characters announced yesterday. That didn't happen. But we did have characters announced before that. Yeah. So let's talk about those. Trunks from Dragon Ball was announced. So
there you go, Olivia.
Yep. Boa Hancock from One Piece, who was in J-Stars. Renji from Bleach. and Izuku Deku Midoriya from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, finally happened.
Announced. So, yeah, we can talk about some of this. There's also a kind of story trailer shown off
with a lot of Light and Ryuk, right?
Yeah, that or you stuff some kind about some. As far, I guess we'll start with the characters. Trunks from Dragon Ball, cool, but I'm at the point with that, and also with One Piece, like we don't need any more characters. This is the 6th for both of them.
Oh, you're sick. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. There was 5, so we kind of assumed there wouldn't be any more.
I assumed there weren't going to be any, and Trunks is cool and all, but we got plenty of swordsmen. We got plenty of Saiyans.
Yeah. So who are all the Dragon Ball reps right now?
Dragon Ball, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Piccolo, Cell, Trunks.
Okay. At least the rest of I mean, like, they're the normal ones, but at least they're kind of somewhat different. But yeah, Trunks is another like kind of redundant
Trunks
one,
is, based on the story trailer, is going to be like his role in every Dragon Ball game. It'd be a plot device for time travel and dimension hopping and all that crap.
Yeah. I figured, and I don't even know much about this, but I would have guessed that was the role he would say.
Yeah. So, yeah, they can stop with the Dragon Ball. I said that like a character. Yeah. Last time they announced characters for them. Boa Hancock from One Piece. She was in the last game. She's a weird one because she doesn't have the biggest role in One Piece as the story. Really cool character, and everything, but she doesn't feel needed. She feels like she's just partly there to fill up the female roster. And
she's probably lacking, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, and she's kind of strangely popular in the One Piece, like in all the character polls, which they do a lot of for Jump stuff. She's always kind of high, considering her minor role in the story.
Yeah.
But she's supposed to be the sexy character, so whatever. That's her thing. So, kind of surprised they brought her back, but is what it is.
Is that one of those things where you're like, from the outside objectively, we should have like other characters that are not One Piece, but then selfishly, personally, you're like more One Piece, yeah? Or is it
kind of like that? But even as far as One Piece characters, she's not. I would have gone through probably another dozen before I got into her.
Gotcha.
Like if they want another female rep, I know this means nothing to you, Darby. Like get Nami, who's the orange-haired navigator on the team or whatever. Get like who's the main female character, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Just get her, get her straw hat in.
Yeah.
But fine. Renji from Bleach. More Bleach, yeah, I guess. I always liked Renji as far as his weapon designs and stuff. He I can't remember what his final form was, but his regular sword is kind of like Ivy's and Soul Calibur, where you throw it in kind of
it's like a
whip.
Yeah. Right.
And his super form, his sword turns into a giant snake monster.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Though there's one thing that, especially with Bleach getting another character, that makes it things for sure that's going to happen. Naruto's definitely going to get a couple more characters.
How many?
2.
There's only 2 Naruto.
Naruto and Sasuke, they announced at the beginning.
Yeah,
so,
100% getting more.
Since Naruto's one of the box characters in the big three.
Yeah.
With Goku and Luffy. So he's getting more characters, so that's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Are you starting to worry that we're getting to the point where we're running out of spots for things like JoJo and maybe even past JoJo, like just some smaller ones that you thought might get representation, and now are you worried at all?
A little bit. There's like I mentioned before, there was a hint from Yonko Productions on Twitter, who has proven he has inside information when it comes to Shonen Jump related things. Like I had no doubt, even if his stuff wrong, I'm not gonna stop believing what he said. Like he called before the JoJo season 5 episode aired. Mm-hmm. He knew what the ending song was going to be and was hinting at that.
Okay. Okay.
But funny. So and then that's just the one that popped in my head. A bunch of random stuff like that. Okay. He knew that song. Yeah, we didn't know about that song until the episode aired. He knew it the week leading up to it. He was hinting at that song in particular. So stuff like that, and he hinted at characters like Dio and Jotaro from JoJo. Kuro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. For people who don't know that by name, the yellow tentacle teacher monster.
Terrifying, man.
Yes.
That's terrifying, man.
Suna from Hitman Reborn, which I'm kind of surprised about, actually, because that wasn't the most popular manga. I like it and everything. I like Suna as a character. His fighting style will be cool in this, but it's kind of weird pool. Medaka from Medaka Box, which I'm kind of really surprised about, because, again, the manga's over. Wasn't exactly the biggest hit. might be more of a filling out female roster thing. All the Kura Sensei, Suna, and Madaka were all in J-Star, so they might make it easier and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in the actual announced characters so far, are there any from like some smaller series that you wouldn't expect to be in there? Or are they all pretty much the big ones right now?
pretty much all the big ones, because I looked at it, I think we only had like 12 actual series announced, which it feels like we got 30-something characters, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one thing I would maybe worry about, especially with how much this one's being pushed in America, and just kind of like it seems like a bigger deal. It might be more focused on
I agree.
And like I would have worried less before Trunks. Now 6 Dragon Ball, it makes me worried.
6 One Piece, yeah.
If you have 6 Dragon Ball, 6 One Piece, and 5 Naruto or something, then that's a lot of characters taken up.
I love these series, but
But they already have so many games too. You've already seen these characters in these fashions so much. I feel like there's probably other series that you've never gotten to see in this kind of
other than these games.
right.
Yeah,
And it's
so-
yeah.
So we, potentially, once let's say we get 5 Naruto characters, that is 17 characters that are just from these series.
God, yeah. You're
And,
running
and
out of
21
space.
once you throw in Bleach.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And I mean, like, not that this is a bad thing. I mean, like, this is where I would say like it's actually better to throw some of them, but there's going to be multiple My Hero Academia. I mean, there's no way it's just like
I
Deku
have to
or
imagine probably, partly because it's
I would say at least 3, at least, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
if it's one of those weird things, I think that should, based on its popularity, at least get that many. But it's just one of those things, depending when the development for this started.
Yeah.
Like, let me put it this way: if let's say Deku's the only My Hero character, which I kind of doubt, but you never know.
That would be a bummer.
They're 9 DLC characters. There's gonna be a My Hero character in there at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely some cynical views to take with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Deku finally, we got a My Hero character. Unfortunately, Deku makes sense for the My Hero character, but since his power is just super strength, and he's young, so he doesn't have style to it. He just kind of punches things really hard and all that stuff. At least with the iteration they're going with him, because it's kind of an earlier on thing. He kind of changes up his style in the most recent season of the anime, which this is not based off of. So his moveset's a little kind of generic-y, but at least My Hero's in, which is good. And again, it opens up for Todoroki, who you probably heard Olivia talk about a lot.
Yeah,
the
I've heard
fire
of
and
him.
ice guy.
Okay.
And Bakugo, who probably be in, whose big thing is he can make his sweat explode.
Of course.
And stuff like that. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I'm interested to see what characters they do. I know some people still have fear about JoJo. JoJo's going to be in. They still got almost 2 months to announce characters. At this point, JoJo is the next you would assume the next in line to get an announcement as far as the big
I
series.
hope so. No,
I mean,
yeah.
the fact that I know it's from us, but the fact that you know of JoJo and you've actually seen stuff around here in the West should be a good sign of JoJo getting in.
I mean, like, maybe it's just because my friend group, but like, I feel like JoJo is bigger now than ever. But
Yes,
I mean, like,
yes, especially like in the West, which as we've seen, they're trying to appeal to a little more of this game.
yeah.
Now, the series-sized character I'm most worried about making in is Gintoki from Gintama, one of my favorite series, because it's so Japanese-based. Like, it's had some stuff here. It does have an English dub for some of the episodes, I think, in a movie, but it's never been big here whatsoever. I mean, it's not really compared to about any of these other ones. All of these series already announced. So I have some fears about that one.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because it's like up there as far as my favorite with One Piece for Shonen Jump series. So
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And just to go real quick, the story trailer looked cool. It's about what you expect. You have your avatar character to like, hey, we're Jump Force, blah blah blah. You know how powers you can fight alongside these guys and point to like Goku, Trunks, and
So did they like come through a portal to end up in like
Yeah.
New York City or something?
I guess pretty much, yeah. Like
Okay.
from the all different worlds, Jump Worlds or whatever. And kind of thing that got me a little like, excited. It could just be nothing. Again, I expect this just to be at most a big dumb fun story. They
That's what I would want.
had your avatar in what is the Jump Force base, or what you assume is talking to Light and Ryuk, and they showed a bunch of shots of that. Just kind of Light and Ryuk kind of just walking around. So, but since Japanese, I have no idea what they were saying, but
they looked very serious.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Okay,
It'll be fun.
Cool. That was a good Jump Force conversation.
It was.
Yeah.
I feel like I normally don't try to do that, but it's like we don't have much. We're trying.
We're
to
in it. We're going. It's Christmas.
Let's talk about it. I'm excited for the game, and of course you can expect more talk when more characters are announced. Hopefully, it'll be good news.
Yes.
Though since there was Jump, they announced like 5 characters taking the Jump Festa time because the Asta from Black Clover was announced. Last week. It's kind of the same thing. Like his trailer debuts with Deku.
It just wasn't in the stream that you thought.
Yeah. He was technically announced last week.
Right.
So
yeah.
So that's good. Finally, my hero, so people can stop whining. It was happening, people. Now, hopefully, the JoJo people can stop worrying soon, and stop worrying about Gintama like they should. Okay, now Darby, it's that time of the month again. Games with Gold games were announced.
Yeah.
Now, the first game on this, it's a pretty big one.
It is a very big one.
It's very surprising.
It is.
Celeste is part of Games with Gold for January 2019.
Announcement to all Xbox people: if you do not download Celeste, you are messing up.
You are getting
one of the best games of all time for free. Is that's not crazy to say?
Well, I mean, just taking out our opinions of the game real quick. Is you're getting a Game Awards Game of the Year nominee for quote unquote free if you already have Xbox Live or whatever. Less than a year after it came out.
Yes. It's insane. It's a little weird to me because I feel like Celeste still has selling power before. Like I thought this would be happening.
We'll get
down
to that
the
Celeste
line.
sales stuff.
But also, the fact that it's happening right now means that, you look at it, it's like, whoa, it's a big deal seeing.
I think with this, and we'll get to the Celeste stuff, some sales. Yeah, Celeste sales stuff a little later, but I think this means they're happy with this general sales now, and they're just kind of ready to move on.
Yeah,
They're just looking to their next project.
Kind of
get their name out there as a studio.
And this could be a bump on Xbox. Maybe Xbox hasn't had as many sales for Celeste. It's just that kind of game usually.
I have to imagine the way the sales are, split. Yeah, Xbox probably at the bottom it's probably Switch, PC, PS4. Xbox.
That would sound right to me. I mean, potentially PS4 and PC Switch, but
I have to imagine Switch is number one though.
It is with every other indie I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And,
plus,
did you hear about the Donut? It was Donut County guy, right? I think it was Thimbleweed Park guy.
Yeah, Thimbleweed Park.
Yeah, had said that the Switch had been on the market for so much less time than PC, and it tripled the sales or something. It was
I saw the graph. It's if you combine GOG and Steam together, it's barely over the Switch.
Okay, but
which it's still crazy that Switch and then
PS4
and Xbox One are minuscule.
Yeah, it's an indie machine, man.
Yeah. So, okay, next. WRC 6 FIA World Rally Championship.
Jeff, you could give me a bunch of guesses, and I couldn't even begin to tell you what that is. What is WRC and FIA? What do those things stand for?
I don't know what they stand for. I think it's a card game.
Okay. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
I thought it was some sports game or something.
I'd be wrong. Far Cry 2, Xbox 360, Xbox One backwards compatibility.
That's actually a decent... Yeah, Far Cry 2 is one of those that has a cult following. Mm-hmm. It's one of those games. It's a really interesting, weird game. That's cool. That's a good one. You should get that, obviously.
Yeah.
No, you don't have games with cult. Never mind.
I do.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, then get Far Cry 2.
I might need to update it. I think I just got a free month. I might just go ahead and And finally, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. Same thing. Xbox 360, Xbox One. Via backwards compatibility, which this caused some controversy, I think, because apparently this is a repeat.
Yeah,
but I think I saw someone say people got confused, and it has been on PlayStation Plus, and people maybe got them mixed up, or if not, it was on Games with Gold in 2014 or something like that, or years ago. So it's whatever. If they want to have some repeats for Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, just one little repeat is not that big of a deal. I mean, it's one of those things they advertise it as you get new games every week. So, I mean, I guess, whatever. But Yeah, it's fine.
So
I don't like. I know the Lara Croft and the like Temple of Osiris or something. Is this like in the same vein?
I think it's the same vein. It's like a sequel or prequel.
Okay.
So that's cool. Oh yeah, Darby. And I was reminded when people were talking about this, just talking about PlayStation Plus. Starting some point this upcoming year for PlayStation Plus, no more PS3 games.
That's right.
No more Vita games, I think, either.
Yeah, that
just
was
PS4.
I think that was kind of early this year, or early next year sometime.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So we still need to see if they're gonna do just add games, like more PS4 games, or just keep with the 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a guess.
Yeah, but we'll see. Now, something really exciting is what Twitch Prime is doing for the next month.
What are they doing for the next month, Jeffrey?
Okay, I don't think these are the actual Twitch Prime games for January. This is just an extra thing. Like, yeah. I think they said a Christmas gift. This is a Devolver digital pack that you can get 7 games for free with Twitch Prime.
And
let's list.
And they are some games, Jeff.
Broforce, which pretty solid couch co-op, and we played it a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah, and we should go back to it at some point. Yeah.
Hotline Miami.
Yes.
Hotline Miami 2, which I'm all for playing. I've not played it. I play Hotline Miami 1.
I bought both of them on the Steam sale for like very little money, so I'd probably play them there. But okay,
the next game, The Messenger,
what
came out a couple months ago. Is one of the.
You can get it for free with Twitch Prime.
Yeah,
and if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime.
Most recognized whatever indie games of this year. Going to be on people's Game of the Year list.
Insanity. Like, if you have Xbox Games with Gold and you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you could get Celeste and The Messenger for free.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And just a reminder, normally when people are saying this, they're trying to tell you to give them their Twitch sub. We do not have that.
No, we're not. No.
But if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. So
go get The Messenger is what we're telling you.
And give your free sub to someone you love.
Yeah, just give it to someone. But
yeah, and then the next game, Strafe. I forgot which one that is. I think I remember. I think I ended up recognizing all these other games, and these are actually
good games.
Yeah, so let me try to pull that up real quick. But again, The Messenger, dear Lord, we need to try to.
It's great. I'll probably play The Messenger now. And
The
Messenger was going to be.
When I saw this, I was like, I know you want to try to do Persona, but you're kind of done playing the games you wanted to for the.
Yeah, I'm in between games right now.
So this could be a good one for you to try to.
And it was one of those that I was gonna be like, well, that's just a really good game that I missed, and that sucks. But I definitely might try it, or at least I have the option. It'll be there for later. So
Strafe Crossing Souls, which I think is a very Earthbound inspired thing.
Interesting.
Maybe some 80s vibes or something. I don't know. Like 80 cartoon vibes, is that it? Saturday morning cartoon vibes. And finally, The Swords of Ditto.
Ditto the Pokemon, right?
Yes. Indeed. So that's a very solid free thing, and we'll probably get more games for January announced in the next week or so.
Yeah, so that's not even a normal thing. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good deal everyone should get on.
Indeed.
Play Celeste and The Messenger. Support indie games.
Indeed.
Especially really good ones.
Indeed. Okay, Dar, you ready for what's probably the biggest sales time section in a while?
Hit me with a sales block, Jeff.
Okay, first we're gonna talk about Celeste, Dar.
Let's talk about Celeste.
This comes from Matt Forson from Matt Makes Games. The
Matt, Jeff.
He posted this on Twitter. And this is a quote from him. Celeste sold 500,000 copies in 2018. Thank you, everyone who played it. We never expected to reach so many people. Working on some Farewell Celeste levels, which should be ready in early 2019. They're very hard. And we'll be announcing what's next for us in the new year as well. See you in 2019.
Feels good, Jeff.
Yep. Now, some people's reaction, I kind of have a similar thing, but it makes sense thinking about it, that the Celeste sales feel kind of low, considering just the talk of Celeste this past year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but at least with the size of this studio and everything, and for the most part, Celeste hasn't really been on big sales.
No.
So they made their
even 500,000 sales for something that probably had a very low budget. I mean, you even see you play Towerfall, a lot of the art's the same in Celeste. I mean, it's better, but it's obviously a lot of things were used as the base, and they were even he was working on Celeste years before Towerfall. Like there's old versions of what basically became Celeste with like a very like primitive little Madeline, and you like jumped and got stuff and got a second jump. Like that idea, he's had that for years. So like I imagine the budget was very small for this. So even the 500,000, I'm sure they made their money back and then some and everything. I was hoping it would be like, we just crossed 1 million. I'd be like, yeah. But either way, I would hope that Celeste continues to sell and continues to go. And it's like, I think it was a big success, and I think that's.
You excited for those farewell levels?
No, because I'm probably too much of a scrub to play them.
You gotta try them, Darby.
I didn't even do the seaside stuff because I'm too much of a scrub. But I don't know. Jeff, I had so many deaths just to get through Celeste, but I'm happy for people who are good enough to do that.
And again, he said at the end, we'll find out what they're doing sometime next year.
Yeah, so. Which I mean, now you have to imagine all eyes are on them now.
Like, let's say we don't like. It's literally the end of the year. That is an easy Game Awards indie announcement.
Oh yeah. And they already have that time.
Say from Matt Mace Games, the creators of Celeste, and they throw in Towerfall as well because that's a pretty decently well known.
No, Jeff, that's an easy kind of funny game showcase announcement. Boom.
I mean, one of those if it doesn't do it until December, but yeah.
Yeah, could be. It's like I'm very happy for them. And again, Matt Makes Games is just like anything they do now, no matter what it is, you'll have the friend and makers of Celeste, and it's going to be a big deal.
Yes, and you'll have our attention.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like Celeste was just such a gem this year, unexpected present.
Yep.
That was so good, and I'm so glad I got around to it. Like it would have been a bummer if
I was talking about it before. I was like, Darby, this game.
It just had to get in the mood. I had to get in the right mindset, and it finally happened. I'm so glad it did.
Yep. Okay, Darby, let's talk about a bunch of Nintendo sales data. This data comes from Business Wire. There's no author that I saw, so just from Business Wire.
Business Wire.
Business Wire, and something to keep note of, unless I say specific, otherwise. All this data is only U.S.
There must be something wrong with this bottle because it keeps like shooting water at me, even though I was drinking it right.
You're a big boy, Darby.
I'm a big boy. I can drink my water bottle.
Yeah, again, but all this, unless I say otherwise, is all U.S. sales data only.
Yeah.
Okay, here's just some points or whatever. Nintendo Switch has become the fastest selling video game system of this hardware generation for 21 months, according to NPD Group, which tracks video game sales data in the U.S. From its launch in March 2017 through November 2018, Nintendo Switch has sold more than 8.7 million units, outpacing U.S. sales of all other current gen systems at the same point in their life cycles. Dear Lord.
I just want to go back to us, like, in the lead up to the NX and just be like, hey, yo, this shit's going to blow up.
Yeah, and Benji from Twitter, do you know who that is?
I think...
he's the guy who usually has a Geralt avatar, talks about all that sales crap.
I've probably seen
Benji sales. He was hinting at that Switch is having a monstrous December. Record-breaking.
I mean, we saw it with the... I'm not surprised after the Black Friday Thanksgiving thing where it was like
and Smash launched in December.
Yeah, it was the best selling for any like U.S. hardware ever, I think, or something for a Black Friday. So yeah.
Okay. Nintendo is also the overall top selling U.S. software publisher so far for 2018. Not that surprising considering they release a good many games that sell pretty well. I guess the only one you could would think of potentially, I guess Ubisoft and Sony potentially could have taken that, but
it's a little surprising just because this was, we've all said this was a lighter year than last year for Nintendo. Like last year was
actually now that we're talking about things that's actually a bigger surprising than I thought,
because they've had a few. Honestly, we've said this a bunch of times. I'm not saying it is like it was a bad year for Nintendo or anything. There was a lot of like great games, but it was mostly indies and everything, and the big hitters was smashing Pokemon that are not even like they just came out. They're still getting these sales. So that is a little surprising to me. This year was the year of Sony with like Spider-Man and God of War and Rockstar with Red Dead and not that Nintendo has a lot more. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little surprising.
Yeah. But speaking of Smash Bros, Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate sold 3 million in the US in 11 days, making it the fastest selling Nintendo Switch game as well as the fastest selling game in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Also, this is where the worldwide sales come in. In the first 3 days worldwide, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate sold 5 million copies. That's from Nikkei.
Jeez.
So I think it's safe to assume because the Wii U one was like 5.4 million, I think, something like that. It's
Like
already
lifetime.
outsold Wii U. It's it could potentially by the end of this month or maybe next month outsell the 3DS already.
That game's going to sell a lot.
This
This
is an evergreen title.
What
It's
is,
gonna
oh yeah, no, this
it's
is
gonna
the,
keep on selling.
This is the perfect title to just keep selling. What's Mario Kart at right now?
Was it like 11 or 12 million?
It could pass it.
It could.
I mean,
Yeah.
it very well might not, but like I didn't think that it would even be possible. But like they've sold 5 million in like.
Well, that was only
2
the first three. No, that was
Or
only
that,
the
that was
first
the first
3
3
days.
okay, I didn't know if the worldwide was still that. Yeah,
We've had another 2 weeks since then.
it might do it. It could do
Yeah.
it. I mean, not like Mario Kart has stopped selling, but
Nope. So yeah, that's crazy. Nintendo hardware unit dollar in sales for 2018 are their highest annual total since 2011. So that's.
wait, I'm sorry.
I mean
say
that
again?
kind of makes sense, but
Okay.
Nintendo hardware unit dollar in sales
Ah,
for 2018 are the highest annual since 2011.
Right. Yeah.
It makes sense since that was close to the end of the Wii era, and then Wii U came out, so that makes sense.
Right.
But it beat last year at least, so yeah. Nintendo eShop sales have grown 105% over 2017. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
People like to buy their games. Evergreen Nintendo Switch games have set new milestones. Remember, these are all US numbers. With The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe selling over 4 million and 5 million units respectively. Super Mario Odyssey has sold over 4.7 million units. That is crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, like,
Again, that's only US.
it's just, and whenever we list a lot of these out, I mean, like, there's only been, I guess, coming up on 2 years. There's a lot of big titles, and none of them have flopped.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
even
guess
ones you expect to potentially flop, like Kirby, have sold game busters. Super Mario Party sold a lot.
ARMS sold like
Mario
over
Tennis
2.
Aces sold
Yeah. Like,
like
at
2
least
million
like,
or something. About
yeah, it was
close
at least
to it.
1.5, and ARMS sold more than 2 million, didn't it? Or at
Yes.
least close to
One
it.
Two Switch sold over 2 million.
Splatoon sold like 3 million or something like that.
No, Splatoon is like over 5 million.
Oh, there you go. That's
Or, I mean, I'm probably undercutting. I might be just thinking of Splatoon 1. It might be
oh yeah.
Splatoon might be 7 million. Yeah, 7 million sounds more right.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, yeah. Okay. In addition to the fastest selling Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, other recently released games that continue to make a splash include Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which together total 2 million units. Again, and just in America. And Super Mario Party is at 1.4 million in America.
Nintendo's very healthy right now.
Yeah, unless for some reason that last one is just in worldwide for some reason the only ones.
And
This is
the
all
same,
US.
dude. I mean, like, Mortal Kombat 11 was just announced for the Switch. That wouldn't happen if these things were happening. It's
Yeah.
just like things are selling here, and it's gonna get to the point where
yeah, it's just the thing with the Switch. I mean, obviously breaking hardware records, but it's breaking software records as well. Like people are buying games.
no.
It probably has a very, comparatively to the other systems, a pretty good like ratio of consoles and games sold.
Yeah.
Games bought per console or whatever.
I mean, and it's Christmas time. I've been at family gatherings. My family members know what the Switch is.
Yeah.
They 100% did not know with the Wii U. It's just,
Yeah.
we live in a crazy time.
Yep. Okay, Darby, time for some NPDs. You ready for that sweet NPD goodness?
I am ready for that sweet MT.
Okay. Oops. Let me pull up some stuff. I forgot to put some stuff down. So I am a moron. I apologize, people.
Jeff, you are not a moron. I will not accept that.
Let me just pull this up. Just kind of be.
That means so Smash outsell Let's Go.
Yeah.
By like a decent amount,
As it should be.
as the Lord intended.
As Lord Sakurai intended.
Yes. That's kind of surprising to me.
Yep. I don't know. Probably worldwide it sold more, but than the Let's Go games, but I guess I don't know for sure. Well, We'll see at the end of the quarter for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I guess sometime in January.
Yeah, they
or
both are gonna sell a lot and probably a similar amount, but
yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's get to those sweet NPDs.
all right.
Start with the top 10 and maybe some highlights from the 11 through 20. Okay, here we go. Number 1, best-selling game in America in the month of November. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep, and some of these will have some fun little factoids. Sales of Red Dead Redemption 2 now exceed the lifetime sales of the previous title in the franchise, Red Dead Redemption, by nearly 40%. After pretty much a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
How much was Red Dead 1? It was like
15 million?
That's what I thought. It was something like 15 million. So
yeah.
So, yeah. That's a lot of copies in a short amount of time.
Indeed. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Wait. Yeah. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is the second fastest selling game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in history, trailing only 2017's Call of Duty World War II.
Yep. And I think it's the top selling game right now.
Yeah. This does not include PC digital sales.
Yeah. So yeah, taking out the story didn't really hurt them very much. They're going on. It's because they had Blackout. It's because they had
Blackout.
But they had to have something. They had to have something to replace it, but they at least proved that they can have a full multiplayer Call of Duty, and as long as it has something else to offer besides just the multiplayer, they're good. Like the normal multiplayer.
Number 3, which is maybe a little surprising. Apparently, people were worried it wasn't going to do well. Battlefield 5, not including PC digital sales.
Yeah, I am a little surprised by this. I mean, I think
Wait till the next one.
It also just shows that just because the media or you don't see things online doesn't mean that like people aren't buying. Like the Battlefield name.
No.
The Battlefield name still carries a lot of weight just with people walking in the store and seeing it. You know,
Darby, we've seen that's true with just Ubisoft games.
Yeah, because like no one's talking about For Honor or Far Cry 5 or anything, and they just sell and sell and sell and sell and sell.
Okay. Number 4, probably the biggest surprise in here. Fallout 76.
Yep.
No digital sales either.
Yeah, so it could even be higher. It's the same thing I just said. This one's just kind of a worse game, but I think that even despite everyone like bombing the game and like saying how bad it is, it's still a Fallout game, and there's a lot of people who grew up in middle school playing Fallout. They're in a store. Oh, Fallout. That's a new Fallout game? I don't get it. Or they already pre-ordered it because it was kind of promoted as a normal Fallout game.
And we hear all about all the negative, stuff in our circles, but there might be a lot of people that, who don't usually go on there and do all this stuff that actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people like it gets easy for us to just that game's dead in the water, it's gone, it's nothing. It's easy to say that, but like I think gaming media and us in general are kind of in our own circle in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of people.
I'm interested to see how far it falls next month.
Yeah, and it might like this.
I mean, it's gonna fall 100% and just see if it's like still on the list type thing.
If it falls like significantly, then I'm gonna think that a lot of this was just like day one and like.
Oh yeah,
ahead of time by like pre-orders and everything like that, and that the word of mouth actually did affect it. If it stays up there, then it's gonna be like, all right, well,
I mean, 100% the word of mouth affected it. It's just how significant we can need to see. Yeah. Okay. Also, some bonus stuff. Fallout 76 physical sales achieved the 3rd highest launch month sales in franchise history, trailing only Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas. Which you hear the 3rd highest, like, huh? But then when you really think about it, that makes sense because. I feel like Fallout didn't really peak until like New Vegas and 4, so.
Yeah, I mean, like 3 is when everyone first got like.
Yeah.
Really, it became a mainstream thing, but usually your first big hit is not your best selling. It's the
at least at launch.
Yeah, it's the one after.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So. As much as like, fun fact, that makes sense. I'm not surprised at that.
It does.
Which said,
but this is another thing. Like, yeah, if this was like a Fallout 5 that had very good reviews and everything, it would probably be over Battlefield 5. I mean, like this is the type of thing.
Number 5, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And number 6 is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So for Pikachu, and this does not include digital sales. For Pikachu specifically, launch month sales of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu are the 2nd highest in franchise history, trailing only Pokemon Stadium. Now, I'm going to put a little asterisk to that because I know your reaction to that. Okay, this is what you need to remember with this.
Please tell me, Joe.
This is a $60 game.
This
does it by revenue.
Okay.
3DS ones are naturally
They're
cheaper.
They're $40.
So this can sell less and still make more money. And some of you might also be thinking Pokemon Stadium's #1. Remember, that wasn't split into 2 different ones. And back then, that game launched at $80.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that is why Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu are the top 2.
It was a cash cow, Pokemon Stadium.
I know the media reaction is like, wait, what? To just reading all of that.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
But there is context that makes it make sense.
Yeah, I needed that context. I would have just been confused.
Now, prediction. Janae's going to beat this, I believe.
I hope so.
Let's Go, Pikachu. I believe it's going to beat that.
I mean, I think
it'd be Stadium. I don't know what the.
I think
it
it also will, just because there's going to be a whole nother year's worth of people buying
Switches
and
honestly, I think there's going to be more general excitement just for it. Because it's new.
And I think it'll be something new. And there was I mean, like, even though I think clearly a lot of people were all in for it, there was still definitely an element of this is like half of a new Pokemon, but like there's still the whole feeling of like we still haven't gotten like the real Pokemon game. This is just kind of like,
maybe Pokemon Let's Go will serve a purpose and get people who were outside Pokemon or get more people into Pokemon. So new people that normally don't buy new generations will buy Gen 8.
Yeah.
And then there'll be people like me who did buy Let's Go who probably will buy Gen 8.
Yeah.
Number 7, NBA 2K19. Who is surprised that that's high?
It's always going to be in there. The fact that it's that low.
Number 8, Madden NFL 19, no PC digital sales. So, number 9, Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
How about that little purple dragon?
And some more information. The launch month dollar sales of Spyro Reignited Trilogy are more than 30% higher than the combined launch month sales of all other Spyro games in history, excluding Skylanders.
Of course.
Yeah. Skylanders not technically a Spyro game.
That's awesome. I mean, I not that it's really that surprising after Crash. It's like I think we all expected Spyro to do well too. It's just good to see that like we can move to another. Like it's not just Crash. It's just that era of gaming in general. And whenever you put this much love and effort into a remaster, remake, whatever, people are gonna respond to it, and it's good to see. Like I hope we see like. I don't think it'll be on this level, but I hope we see a very I hope we see Medieval like somewhere in the top 20, and like I hope we see like that to continue to go forward. Honestly, just so that they'll eventually have to get to Sly Cooper at some point, and I would rather them just make a new game, but whatever. Like I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah, this is good news.
Yeah, it's very
Number 10, FIFA 19, no PC digital sales. That's whatever. Just do a quick rundown through 11 through 20, and then we'll get to the best-selling games of this year as of right now.
All right.
11, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 12, Super Mario Party.
Hey.
Staying pretty high up there.
Like
no
it.
digital sales.
I like it.
Number 13, Marvel Spider-Man. Number 14, Mario Kart 8, no digital sales. Number 15, WWE 2K19. Number 16, God of War 2018. Number 17, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Number 18, Just Dance 2019. Number 19, Grand Theft Auto 5, hanging in there.
You can't kill it.
It could get knocked off, Darby, in the next couple of months.
That would, I'm not even exaggerating. It would probably be the first time in history that it was not in the top 20. There might have been like 1 or 2 months, but
I feel like when people have talked about it not being in like a certain thing, I think they've been talking about the top 10.
Yeah, like the top 20. I don't know if it's ever not been in.
Yeah. Number 24, it's Horizon 4. Good for that. Good. That's not our thing necessarily, but we keep on talking about that's a very quality game.
No, very good. No,
so I'm happy to see it succeed.
Yes.
Okay, now let's get to the top 10 selling games of this year, Darby.
Blops.
Yeah, number 1, Blops.
Number 1, Blops.
Call of Duty Blops 4. Call of Duty Blops, line.
Any chance of Red Dead taking it from November and December sales?
Potentially. Problem is, since we just have the ranking, we don't know how close these are. But
and we don't know, like the October ranking, it was like Red Dead came out so late in the month. Yeah. It's hard to completely.
Yeah, and I feel like that. Obviously, I think both these games are gonna have some legs. Obviously, I think what could help one way or the other for any one of the games is Call of Duty. I think has been on sale, so it's either they'll sell more because of it, or they'll make They'll sell about as many, but make less money because it's on sale. And Red Dead has not been on sale.
No.
That
Probably
price
won't.
isn't going down anytime
No,
soon.
it won't be for a very long
You'll
time.
be lucky to get it for like $40 or $30 next Black Friday.
Yeah. No, like you might as well just go ahead and get Red Dead if you want to get it. Cause
So yeah, obviously number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
No surprise there. Number 3, NBA 2K19. Not that surprising. People love their NBA games. Number 4, which held number 1 for so long, Far Cry 5.
Okay, I was wondering, is Far Cry 5 going to be like 4, 5, or 6?
Oh yeah, you don't have these. You don't have the list here.
I don't.
Normally that happens, so we can have you guess for funsies.
That's why I turned it off.
Yeah. Sorry. What do you think number 5 is?
So it was Blops, Red Dead,
NBA,
Far Cry, FIFA,
No.
Madden.
Yes.
Okay.
Madden with no PC digital sales. I'll tell you this now. FIFA is not on this top 10 list.
Interesting.
Yeah. Number 6.
Call of Duty World War II.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was on previous one. That's been knocked off. That was like at the bottom.
No.
Close to the bottom, I think.
GTA 5.
No.
I don't know.
Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Number
That's
6.
that's high. That's very
That's
good.
really high. And I'm sure it could potentially be. Well, no, I probably won't surpass Madden. No, that's probably a decent gap between there.
But for a console exclusive.
What I'm
game,
saying is general numbers for Spider-Man probably went up a good bit because of those freaking bundles.
it's ridiculous.
Then again, I don't think that may not count towards this, so whatever. Number 7. Keep on the same train of thought as Spider-Man.
Oh, is it God of War?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Sony's killing it.
Number 8.
Are we getting into Nintendo territory?
And Nintendo's been knocked off this list.
Okay.
Smash Bros will probably get on there, but yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jeff.
It's a game we've been talking about all year. Been there since the very beginning. Sales juggernaut. We played it last night.
Okay. Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World number 8.
Okay, I wouldn't have gotten there. I don't know why I wouldn't have gotten there. My mind just wasn't thinking.
No, I know it's hard to give. What all games?
Yeah, it's just the expanse of all
Especially,
games.
there's a lot of times we're like, wait, Monster Hunter was this year?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
feels like forever ago.
It's been 11 months. Number 9. You guessed it earlier.
I mean, you said FIFA was off of it.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, GTA 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 10. Big game.
I wish it was Mario Kart or something like that.
That'd be impressive as hell if it stayed on the top 10 this whole
It
time.
would be.
It's a big game from a big publisher. Got rave reviews. Alex hates it despite not playing it.
Oh, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yep, should have guessed that. Should have guessed that. I mean, that's
I'm kind of surprised. Alex seems to be on the it's not really good train. Everyone's saying otherwise.
I'm indifferent just because I haven't seen enough about it. I just know I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy. But,
Yep. So that is NPDs. Everyone's doing
also,
good.
I think there's just I think Alex doesn't vibe with with a lot of open world RPGs, period, anymore. And I respect that. There's just certain things like The Witcher 3. I love it. It has a lot of problems, just like all open world RPGs. They're that big and do that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, we got more things I forgot to put on here just for as console stuff goes. Okay. Spending is obviously going up a lot, but the most interesting thing is, for the first time in history, Darby, history has been made. 3 console platforms achieved more than 1 million units sold in a November month, as the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One each generated over 1.3 million units of sales. All 3 of them, that much just in the U.S.
Jesus. so
that is the bare minimum for any of them.
Yeah.
It is only the second time in history any 3 platforms achieved more than 1 million units sold in a November period. The first occurred in November 2010 when the DS, Wii, and Xbox 360 achieved that feat.
That's why I'm so happy about this, even though PS4 has definitively skyrocketed ahead, and even the Switch has gone out to such a crazy start that even that I would put over Xbox as far as just modern hype and everything.
Yeah.
Even the Xbox is doing unprecedented unprecedented, extraordinary numbers that last gen would have been the top and everything. Like, just gaming in general is gigantic.
Yep. So it's...
And even outside of those sales, you can be cynical about certain parts of it, but Fortnite's gotten gaming to the point where, like, all my family members know about that. It's just like, it's in front of more eyes than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, again, like everyone says it, but it's after so many stories at the end of last gen. Like, is console gaming dead? Is it going out the door?
Or since, pretty much the PS3, Xbox 360 generation was almost ending. It's like, is this going to be the last generation? It's like, no, since people are breaking records left and right.
It's going absolutely nowhere. Like, I think it's going to change and morph, and streaming technology and that kind of stuff is going to happen, but, like, it's going to be here in some form.
Arguably, the console interest in kids has definitely grown, I think, this past year, probably more than it has, just because Fortnite exists. And
there's so many people buying PS4s for Fortnite.
Yeah, and even there are probably some kids who had a PS4, Xbox, whatever, and, kind of stopped playing it for a little while because, kids and all that kind of stuff. But Fortnite came out like, oh, so there's probably renewed interest in just playing it and just in general. So that's just good in general.
Yeah, it's, I mean, like, and it's like, from our demographic that, like, I don't know, we're being sold on so many different levels that, like, our demographic is getting, like, our generation is getting old enough to where that we have nostalgia grabs with, like, Crash and Spyro bringing that stuff back. Then there's series that kids like and we also like. There's series just for adults, and then now there's, like, Fortnite that is, like, that's what kids do to hang out, and it's crazy.
Oh, just spoiler alert! If I don't think we had this thing, but if we did like a biggest story thing for Game of the Year, or for a 2018 discussion, it's Fortnite.
It's Fortnite.
Just for that
definitively. I mean, even it's not.
I'm not even going to put that category in.
It's not our thing, but, like, that is the biggest thing that happened to video games this year. I mean, it was a year where
definitively.
It's a year where Red Dead came out, was amazing. It's a year where, like, Celeste, God of War, all this other stuff. It's a year where, like you said, we just had, like, absolutely unprecedented console sales. But the thing that will have the biggest impact on 2018 and they will remember the most is Fortnite.
Oh, there's also, kind of speaking as well on the things that are doing well train. PSVR seems to be picking it up and doing decently well.
I'm also very happy about that.
Okay, Darby, we're done with sales, but we got one more thing. We're bringing up
our one more thing.
It's not that stuff, but it's really cool. We're bringing back the That's Awesome News of the Week segment. Darby has told me about this right beforehand. I kind of saw pictures of it, but I didn't really read headlines, so definitely would have been in. So this, I'm reading article from Angela Mascariatolo from PCMag.com. Children with limb differences will soon be able to transform into Halo's Master Chief. Microsoft's 343 Industries, developer of the popular sci-fi shooting game, this week announced a partnership with the nonprofit Limitless Solutions, pun in there, limb, to make new Halo-themed prosthetics for kids. Founded in 2014 by a group of University of Central Florida students, Limitless develops customizable, fully functional 3D printed bionic arms, which are capable of gripping objects and performing various gestures. Best of all, Limitless donates its prosthetics to children in need at no charge. Starting next year, Limitless will add 2 new Halo-themed designs to its catalog of 3D printed bionic arms. One is a replica of the Master Chief's MK6 armor, designed to help turn any eager recipient into an awesomely augmented, galaxy-saving superhero, 343 wrote in the announcement. The other is a multiplayer version kids can customize in different colors. Quote from 343 Industries, we're infinitely honored to have been approached Limitless Solutions to help further their ongoing mission to make heroes out of humanity, and look forward to delivering hope and helping hands beginning early next year in hope. Limitless offers other cool designs such as the Iron Man themed bionic arm you can see in a video they have on their site.
Hell yeah.
Be into that?
Yeah, I think obviously me and Jeff are not absolute horrible monsters, so we are full proponents of helping people with disabilities to play games and just in general. Just in general. And I love that, like, if not only are they doing this and it's a great thing, it's like we might as well let's make it badass and let's have a tie-in with Halo
and they mentioned they just mention 343 in this, but this is also just a good another good thing for Microsoft, like with the disability controller.
Yeah. It's just an awesome I mean, obviously, we say with everything, like companies are companies and they make money and do all this and everything. But it is awesome when you see that money put into things like this.
Yeah.
It's not going to get them any like crazy return on their investment. Like neither is that like the controller they made earlier this year. But it's just an awesome thing to do, and it's thinking about a group of people who
Can't hate on that.
who are not thought about in
Yeah.
most games. I mean, in most big games and stuff, it's an afterthought, and it's awesome to see these things. And again, just surface level, that arm is pretty badass. Like the guy has a Master Chief arm, or an Iron Man arm. It's sick.
Probably some other crazy designs they'll probably come up with, whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome, Jeff.
Yes, that is indeed awesome. They should group. I mean, it's not may not as big. I just thought of it. Group up with Nintendo. Do a Samus arm.
Yeah, that would be sweet. And that would kind of help Nintendo's image when it comes to disability and like because they don't have the best.
We don't bring it out Pokemon Let's Go, but the fact that much. I mean, I know we talked about it before, but the fact that motion controls are required. That's just a dumb thing for people with, that's just.
I think we both
that's just
agree.
a pointless thing that hurts people with disabilities to play that game.
Yeah, because like I think I'm perfectly fine if the game can only make sense to be played in motion, then like that's just the game or whatever. But when it comes to Let's Go, there's like no reason you couldn't play it. Not like
turn the option, make the option.
Yeah,
that's that in.
It's dumb.
So
you just press A to do things, but
let's talk about let's just end the positive note. This is awesome.
It's awesome.
So.
Yeah. Good on everyone involved.
The industry is limitless. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. I think that was enough for a podcast. So honestly, we had some great discussions.
That went. I don't mean it's bad longer than I thought it would. Which is okay.
That was good though. Yeah. We had a lot of very good discussions. So
this makes it easier on you, probably.
Yeah. So I'm making the executive decision. This is this week's podcast. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy Holidays and whatever you're celebrating. If you're celebrating,
Happy New Year.
No matter what, go play some video games. Get Celeste. Get the Messenger. Be good to each other. Be a good person. We will be back next week. Me, Jeff, and Jacob Hamill talking about 2019 games, which ones we're excited for, which ones we're not, and what we're going to buy. It looks like Jeff's going to lose a lot of money in 2019.
Yeah.
And I inevitably will too, because I can't go more than like a month without impulse buying some game that I'll never get to play.
Yeah.
It's a bad habit. But man, it's been a good one. It's been a good year. It's been a good year for video games. I've had a lot of fun recording this podcast this year. Even though we don't have many people to listen to it, it's a lot of fun to make. I enjoy being able to talk about this stuff every week and having a place to do it. It's good.
Same, Darby. A lot of people seem to like our Joker reaction.
Yeah, so we're going to just start screaming about everything now and just hoping to get views from it. Yeah.
Don't worry, we're not doing that. Any reaction, videos you see are our genuine reactions.
It would be so bad. If we tried to stage a reaction, it would be so obvious and just so poorly.
Yeah, if for some reason, I don't think, comments have been very positive and stuff on that video, but if someone point out, oh, it's fake, it's like, I can point to, hey, we got a bunch of reactions and we don't do anything like, we've have like at least a dozen hours of us reacting to stuff. Yeah. Nothing really come close to that.
No. I mean, we've sat through several E3 conferences where we were even keeled the whole time, and then we're like, yeah, that was a really good conference.
Or sometimes like, yay!
Yeah, like you'll see certain things. Yeah. Like if some Final Fantasy VII remake thing comes out and it just looks insane, you might see me lose my mind.
Banjo and Smash.
Or Fable 4. Yeah, that kind of thing. There are a few things, and that was one of them. Yeah. A surprise Smash announcement. Well, we didn't expect it with a Persona character. Yeah. Dude. All right, so thank you guys so much. You'll see us next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Wearing these clothes. Bye.